coming.
Except for construction. Mr. White, are you going to be talking about construction this year?
The meeting will come to order. We have our pledge of allegiance today. This face allegiance. We appreciate her coming.
Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much.
Great job, buddy.
Yeah, good job.
Good job, Logan.
He gave you a thumbs up. The next item on the agenda is for us to approve the agenda. Before we approve the agenda, item F needs to be removed from our consent agenda. And with that change, do we have a recommendation?
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the agenda with the change to the consent agenda.
I need a motion.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, so the motion's passed. The next item on our agenda is our superintendent's report.
Madam President, I've got one item tonight. We've got Mr. Jerry White, our Director of Plant Maintenance. He was here to go over our construction updates.
Thank you, Mr. Austin. Good afternoon. We have 12 projects going on this summer. We're going to talk about today, we're just going to focus on the 4 additions that we have. And we'll catch everybody up to date at the next board meeting on the other projects. The other projects are all running okay at this point in time, and we don't see any problem with them. We'll start out talking about Oak Grove, Hernando Elementary School, Lewisburg Primary School, and Lewisburg Elementary School. This is where we have the additions going on this summer. We'll start out with Oak Grove. You can see here we're just getting ready to do the prep work. Got the security fences and all going up there. Until we're doing the prep work here, and that's a water line that's going in and to go into the rising room at the back of the building when the building's built. See here that we've got ready almost to pour the slab. The blue that you see there is the barrier, the moisture barrier before the concrete goes in to keep the moisture, out of the concrete after it's poured. And there you can see that we got the block work going up. See a little bit more from the building there. Where the rising room is, you can see there on the back on the left-hand side, those 2 extra rooms. One on the right will be the rising room. You can see the little ditch running through it where we run the water lines earlier there. The other one will be the storage for the classrooms back there. See there that we're putting in the roof joists on the deal, and also beginning to start the decking on the left-hand side there. As you can see there, I'm going to back up and show you. This picture right here was taken last Thursday. And these guys worked over the weekend, and they had a bunch of folks out there. And this picture was taken Tuesday. They went from where they were Thursday to there Tuesday. So they're getting busy on it. The next one is Hernando Elementary School. Now this one, we'd like to never got it out of the ground. We didn't get it out of the ground until May 16th. I don't think we've ever gotten one out of the ground that late that we actually made it on time. But these folks have done a lot of catching up. We met with them and gave them what little bit we knew about where to try to catch up, and the main place was in laying the blocks. You can make up some time there, and, you know, they've got a great crew out there, and they have a bunch of folks out there, and they've really been doing some catching up now. This one's gonna go down probably, you know, to the midnight hour, like most of our construction projects do, but I think that they'll eventually make it. Now, you can see the trailer right there in between the buildings, and of course, I got another picture of it, it's close up, the one with the green looking top on it, that's the trailer that we haven't removed to do the addition. And of course, the trailer's gone there. You can see the prep work that we're doing in the ditches there as far as rerouting, you know, utilities, power and the water and the gas lines. Come back in here and they're digging the footing, and this is a little bit different than what we usually do. We usually have a hallway running down the middle of the building and classrooms on each side, but on this particular one, because of the space that we had to work with, we had to put the hallway on the right side. So you can see down there where the concrete's going to end on the right side, that's where the hallway will actually end as we get into the pictures. And there's where they've got the slab poured and ready to go with it. And here they come with the block work. Now, I went out there and spent part of the day watching them lay those blocks. And those guys knew what they were doing, and like I said, there was no talking, and they were getting it. So they know they're behind, and they're trying their best to catch up on it. And here's where we are at the present time. Now, this picture was taken Tuesday of this week. As you'll notice, as we go through these pictures, this one is farther behind than the other buildings, so they're still playing catch up. This is the Lewisburg primary where we're putting on 2 classrooms here. You see, that's at the very beginning where we just got the safety fence put up. Beginning to prep it around here. You can tell that they're beginning to dig the footings, pour the footings there. Got your pad set. And there you can see that we've got the concrete pad poured. They're coming with the block work. See here, they're putting the roof on it. They're also rigging it. That was pretty much the complete project where it was on that. On the Lewisburg Elementary, where we're putting 4 classrooms. This is the beginning. Got the safety fence up, doing the prep work on the ground, digging the footings, getting ready to pour the pad. I want you to notice on this one as we get towards the end of it, how close they are being, well, they actually done as far as the outside part of it. They've got it closed in. And they're actually on this, you can see here, they've already taken out the safety fence, they've cleared all the equipment out of the way, started pouring the sidewalks, they're ready to lay sod. So they're ahead of the game on this one here. They're out there now, the electricians are running conduit, the HVAC people are putting in the duct work, and they're moving along on this one. This one will actually be finished, I believe, well in advance of the holidays. That's my presentation for today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Looks good.
We appreciate it, Mr. White. You're doing a great job with construction projects. And myself and our board members look forward to hearing back from you at our July 2nd board meeting for another update. We appreciate all these updates.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That concludes my superintendent.
Next item on our agenda is the attorney's report.
Yes, Madam President, I have a contract matter that we'll discuss in executive session.
The next item on the agenda is the approval of our minutes. There is no need for a recommendation, so I need a motion.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes of June 6, 2019.
And we need a second.
Second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it, so the motion's passed. The next item is our consent agenda. We will have A through U. We will be excluding F. Are there any changes or any questions any of you have? Recommendation from the superintendent?
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the consent agenda items A through U with item F being deleted.
Need a motion? Second?
Second.
All in favor for the motion, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, so the motion is passed. Our next item on our agenda is our new business. The first one is FY 2019 to 2020 budget approval. Mr. Williams.
Yes, ma'am. We presented the proposed budget for the fiscal year 2020 on June the 11th. So we're requesting now that the board will approve the proposed budget for the upcoming school year.
Recommendation from the superintendent.
Madam President, I recommend to the board to approve the 2019-2020 budget.
I need a motion for the second.
Second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Nay. All the ayes have it, so the motion's passed. The second item is bids, cleaning services for school cafeterias and child nutrition buildings. Mr. Williams.
Yes, ma'am. In your package, you have the bid results for the cleaning services for cafeterias throughout the district and in the child nutrition building. Bids were open on May 24th. It's my recommendation to accept the lowest and best bid from Mississippi Environmental.
I need a recommendation from the superintendent.
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the lowest and best bid for cleaning services for school cafeterias and child nutrition building from Mississippi Environmental.
I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, so the motion has been completed. The next one is bids, interactive projectors. Mr. Williams.
Yes, ma'am. Bids were open on June the 12th for the purpose of interactive projectors for the district. We had 2 vendors that submitted bids, and it's my recommendation to accept the lowest and best bid from Academic Technologies Incorporated.
Recommendation from the superintendent.
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the lowest and best bid from Academics Technology for the interactive projectors.
Need a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, so the motion is passed. The next one on the agenda is bids, netbooks, and Mr. Williams.
Yes, ma'am. Bid for netbooks were open. The bids were open on June the 6th for the purchase of the netbooks. We had two vendors that submitted bids. It's my recommendation to accept the lowest and best bid from Dale Marketing.
Need a recommendation from the superintendent.
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the lowest and best bid from Dell Marketing for netbooks.
Need a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, so the motion's passed. The next one is FY 20 insurance renewal. Mr. Williams.
Yes, ma'am. There's a premium and exposure summary in your packet, and it outlines the insurance limits and then the premiums for the upcoming school year. We're simply seeking approval for the district to renew our insurance portfolio for the upcoming school year based on your review of the premium and exposure summary. And we have Ms. Edmonston out in the audience if you have direct questions.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I was just
Oh.
standing up if y'all had any questions.
Okay, we need a recommendation from the superintendent.
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the insurance renewal for 2019-20 school year.
Okay, do you have any questions? I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, so the motion is passed. Now, does anybody have any questions? Still no questions?
No questions.
No questions.
I just want to thank y'all though very much for letting us provide your insurance needs for you. I am very honored that you let us. I mean, I have 2 kids that have graduated from the DeSoto County Schools. I've had 2 grandchildren that's just graduated. I've got 3 still in there, and I got a daughter-in-law teaching. So y'all are an awesome school district, and I appreciate everything that each one of y'all do, because y'all do a
Thank
great
you so
job,
much.
and that's why I
Thank
stay.
you.
Appreciate what y'all do.
The next one is a request to pay vendor purchasing rural issues DCHS. Mr. Williams.
Yes, ma'am. At DeSoto Central High School, we had the bookkeepers out for 2 weeks. During that 2-week absence, they had a senior breakfast. There was not a purchase order created for that breakfast prior to the breakfast. And so the school is asking permission from the board to use funds from their account to pay for the services rendered.
Recommendation, Superintendent.
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the request to pay vendor for the purchasing rule issue at DeSoto Central High School.
Need a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, so the motion is passed. The next one is the new board policy, JGCF, comprehensive eye examination, first read.
Yes,
Ms.
ma'am.
Weeks.
We're creating a new policy to comply with House Bill 1322, which requires all first graders to have an eye screening, or all first graders who have an eye screening that indicates a need to have a face-to-face examination, and they will have that examination by January 1 of their first grade year. It also provides a provision for parents to opt out of the follow-up vision assessment. And this is just for a first read today.
And because it's a first read, we do not have to vote on it today. Thank you. The next one is new board policy, JRD, detention facility records, first read. Ms.
Yes.
Weeks.
Yes, ma'am. Senate Bill 2449 requires school districts to create a new policy that local education agencies will have procedures in place to ensure that that records are transferred to detention facilities when students are placed in those facilities. And that's a first read also.
Okay, so we don't need a recommendation or a vote on that one. The next one is J, revised board policy, no, that's not right. Revised board policy, CEA, superintendent qualifications, Ms. Weeks.
Yes, we're revising this college policy to add language in accordance with Senate Bill 2237 that a person cannot be hired as a superintendent if they have been convicted of certain crimes, and also to add the alternative qualifications in that bill.
Any recommendation?
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the revised board policy CEA for superintendent qualifications.
Need a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, so the motion is passed. The next one is revised board policy, GADAC, suicide prevention, education, and service training. Ms. Weeks.
Yes, ma'am. We are requesting a revision to add language in accordance with House Bill 1283 that states that school districts will give a refresher training on mental health and suicide prevention every 2 years.
Any recommendation, Mr. Olson?
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the revised board policy GADAC for suicide prevention, education, and service training.
I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Nay. All ayes have it, so the motion is passed. The next one is revised board policy, GADL, donated leave. Ms. Weeks.
Yes, ma'am. We are updating the definition of immediate family in this policy in accordance with House Bill 572.
Recommendation, Mr. Olson.
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve revised board policy GADF for donated leave.
Need a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Ayes have it, so the motion is passed. The next one is revised board policy GADH, jury duty. Ms. Weeks.
Yes, ma'am. This policy is being revised to include a timeline for presenting requests for jury duties and subpoenas to the payroll department.
Recommendations, Mr. Olson.
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve revised board policy GADH for jury duties. I about messed it up too.
That's sign y'all both get.
No, that's what happened.
I need a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, so the motion is passed. The next one is revised board policy GBDA, experience. Ms. Weeks.
Yes, ma'am. This policy is being updated to include experience from accredited public or private post-secondary institutions.
Recommendations, Mr. Olson.
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve revised board policy GBDA experience.
Need a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, so the motion is passed. Revised board policy GBRI, absence from duty. Ms. Weeks.
We are adding language to this policy in accordance with House Bill 572, stating that personal leave may be used on the first or last day of school or around a holiday as bereavement leave.
Recommendation, Mr. Olson.
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve revised board policy GBRI for absence from duty.
I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, so the motion is passed. Revised board policy GBRL, drug-free schools and workplaces. Ms. Weeks.
Yes, this policy is being revised to allow the option of participating in a drug abuse or rehab program.
Recommendation from the superintendent.
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the revised board policy GBRL for drug-free schools and workplace.
I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, so the motion is complete. Revised board policy GBRM2, drug and alcohol testing. Ms. Weeks.
This policy is being revised to provide specific guidelines for drug and alcohol testing within the district.
Recommendation from the superintendent.
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve revised board policy GBRM2 for drug and alcohol testing.
Okay. Motion.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, so the motion is carried. Revised board policy GCN, separation and resignations. Ms. Weeks.
This policy is being revised to provide guidelines for the submission of accruals to PERS following an employee's separation from the district.
Need a recommendation?
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve the revised board policy GCM for separation and resignations.
Need a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, so the motion is carried. Personnel, Mr. Alexander.
Ms. Ma'am, the personnel packet this afternoon, pages 1 through 4 are recommendations. Pages 5 and 6 are personnel changes. Page 7 is a memo from Ms. Strickland, principal at South Haven Mid School, on Ms. Streeter, who did work June 4th through June the 7th on school registration. She accumulated 23 hours, and we need to apply the comp time. Page 8 is a memo from Alyssa Goss, Director of Special Education, on changing in a pay scale for a speech language pathologist. Speech language pathologists will now all be required to carry a master's level degree, and asking that they be moved to the positive behavioral specialist / psychometrist 187-day pay scale. Pages 9 through 10 are the speech language pathologist job description, with the minimum requirement change of master's degree. Pages 11 and 12 is a speech associate's job description. This now has a minimum requirement of a bachelor's degree in communication disorders. Page 13 is a memo from Ms. Goss, who is requesting a 504 coordinator position. This will help oversee the development and renewal of 504 plans in the school, along with helping the demands of child find when parents request that a child be tested. This will be a 205-day schedule and be based on the pay grade being used for assistant supervisors. Pages 14 and 15 is the 504 coordinator job description, which is a brand new description. Page 16 is a memo from Ms. Goss, who's requesting the creation of a curriculum instruction coordinator for special education. With increased accountability and the challenge in closing achievement gaps, the State Department needs someone simply working with special education and general education teachers to supplement the grade level instruction to help students with disabilities. Position would be a 230-day schedule with the assistant special education supervisor paid. Pages 17 through 19 is the curriculum instruction coordinator for special education, which is a new job description. Page 20 is a memo from Ms. Goss, who's requesting the position of case manager. So students with disabilities that make return visits to DCAC, Turn School, and the Magnolia School due to skill or performance deficits in behavior. This position would work closely with the schools and students to help in the transition from alternative placement back to the home school. This position would follow a 187-day schedule and would be based on the certified teacher pay scale. Pages 21 through 22 is the case manager job description, which is a new job description. Page 23 is a memo from Ms. Goss on Ms. Newsom, from an assistant special education supervisor to a special education supervisor. This would be a 230-day position. The change is requested due to the increased accountability regarding alternate assessments for students with significant cognitive disabilities and the increased preschool requirements now. Pages 24 through 25 is a special education supervisor job description. Page 26 is a memo from Ms. Goss on the request for additional occupational therapists. These are medically trained and licensed in the Mississippi Department of Health. Page 27 is a memo from Ms. Green, Director of MIS, on Ms. Aldridge, who will begin training with the current emphasis coordinator, Ms. Smith, at South Haven Middle School from Friday, 6/21 to 6/28. Ms. Aldridge will assume the emphasis coordinator position effective 7/1. Page 28 is a memo from myself, request the Board of Education approve the reclassification of the DCAC clerical position from 187 days to 200 days. That would be on the 88 clerk. That would be effective 7/1. This position does submit attendance and discipline to emphasis on a daily basis. Page 29 is a memo from Ms. Goss. It's requesting that the assistant special education supervisor's days be changed from 187 days to 205 days. Boys have been on the teacher schedule. It makes it very difficult for the preparation at the beginning and the end of the school year. Page 30 through 31 is assistant supervisor special education job description with those changes from days added. Page 32 through 34 is the head nurse job description. They will be attending and assisting with medical 504 plans. It's been added. Page 35 is a memo for myself with reclassification job of motor vehicle heavy equipment applicator technician. State regulations require a certified applicator to purchase and apply chemicals. This position will oversee and maintain all motorized equipment and also for plant maintenance. This position will be paid per the maintenance tech pay scale and be employed for 230 days. Pages 36 to 37 is the job description for motor vehicle heavy equipment chemical applicator tech. This is a new job description. Page 38 is a memo for myself requesting following school counselors to receive compensation for time worked on June 5th and 6th. The work was completed prior to board approval on June 6th, which requested up to 40 hours to counselors assigned dual credit. Those names are listed. Page 39 is a memo for myself on the junior ROTC salaries for the 2019-2020 school year. The salaries are established per the National Defense Authorization Act. Junior ROTC instructors will receive a supplement in the amount of $10,000 in addition to his first salary. Page 40 is a memo for myself on the 2019-2020 employees who work a part-time status as well as their rate of pay during the school year. Those are listed. Page 41 is a memo for myself on the 25% part-time employees to work during the 2020 school year to be paid in a salary that does not exceed 25% of the employee's average compensation is determined by PERS. Those are listed. Page 42 is a memo from Ms. Alex Hallmark, Director of Child Nutrition, on the adult meal increase service staff members and visitors, which will follow federal guidelines. Adults, breakfast will now increase to $1.75 for adults, and lunch will be $3.50. Page 43 is request for additional pay from Ms. Goss or Ms. Hill. She will work 4 hours daily instead of 3. This is based on the unique needs of an individual student. Due to this, Ms. Hill will work beyond the requested 100 hours, but no more than 125 hours. She will be paid her daily rate of pay. She began on 5/31 and will now end on 7/18. Page 44 is request for additional pay for Mr. Thomas Spencer, Associate Superintendent of Academic Education, on Mr. Bostic, Ms. Jones, Mr. Gardner, who will work on creating resources for U.S. history teachers, $27 per hour beginning July 1st and ending July 31st. Page 45 is request for additional pay for Mr. Spencer on Ms. Byrne, who will work to prepare and deliver summer PSAT count. This teacher will take the place of Ms. Turner, someone who was previously submitted for approval. She will be paid $27 an hour, work 80 hours, begin June 3rd and will end August 1st. Page 46 is request for additional pay for myself on Ms. Lamb, Assistant Principal at High School. We can work up to additional days at her daily rate of pay, getting 6/7 and ending 7/5. Page 47 is request for additional pay for Mr. Fleming, Principal of Lewisburg High School, on Ms. Denny and Ms. Ammons to work the remaining 34 additional hours for the 18-19 school year at their hourly rate of pay, beginning June 21st and ending June 30th. Page 48 is request for additional pay for Mr. Brian Kirkendall, Director of Research and Accountability, on third grade testing coordinators to work up to 20 additional hours at their hourly rate of pay for the additional job duties due to the increased summer requirements by the MDE. $27 per hour beginning July 1st and ending June 30th, 2020. Page 49 is a list of the third grade testing coordinators. Page 50 is a request for additional pay for Mr. Ryan Kirkendall, high school testing coordinators to work up to 60 additional hours at their hourly rate of pay for the additional job duties due to increased summer requirements by the MDE. Rate of $27 per hour beginning July 1st, 2019 and ending June 30th, 2020. Page 51 is a list of the third grade testing coordinators. Page 52 is request for additional pay from Ms. Stephanie Green, Director of EL, on additional hours to be worked for teachers who will work on the EL Summer Enrichment Program. 700 hours to be worked July 8th through July 19th. We have previously approved 450 hours due to the amount of students now in the counts. This number needs to increase. Page 53 is a list of employees that will work the EL Summer Enrichment Program. Page 54 is a request for additional pay for Ms. Goss on Mr. Bobby Cruther and Robin Cruther, who have both picked up extended bus routes for ESY due to the needs of special education student and the team's decision regarding the duration and frequency of her ESY services for Braille instruction. They will work a total of 18 days beginning June 12th and ending July 18th. Page 55 is a list of the bus drivers' names, rate of pay. Page 56 is a request for additional pay from Ms. Goss and Ms. Shepard, who was approved in the district's ESY budget 2019 as a bus driver. However, due to licensing issues, Shepard is being changed from bus driver to bus aide. She will work 22 days at the rate of $55 per day, beginning 6/5 and ending 7/18. Page 57 is a request for additional pay from Ms. Goss and Ms. Faulkner and Ms. Irby, who will have picked up an extended bus route for ESY for the 2019 school year due to the special needs of a special education student. The student's ESY time ends at noon, 12 p.m. This time is 30 minutes after his peers. The extended route went into effect 6/5 and it will end 7/18. Page 58 is a list of bus drivers and age rate pay. Page 59 is a request for additional pay from Mr. Levi Williams, Director of Transportation, on the revised list of drivers needed for the reading program. The program is scheduled for June 17th and has went through June 28th. Due to the number of students attending, there is a need for more drivers than was originally requested. Page 6 is a list of those drivers who are working the reading program. Page 61 is a revised pay scale for the 2019-2020 classified school level pay scale. Page 62 through 64 is central services. Those not on pay scales will step up. Page 65 through 69 is central services on those on pay scales. And I need to stop there and have that approved.
We need a recommendation from the superintendent.
Madam President, I recommend that the board to approve pages 1 through 69 personnel as presented.
I need a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, so the motion has been completed.
My final page, page 70, is the recommendation for Central Services Technology, Junior Technology Officer position.
Recommendation.
Madam President, I recommend the board to approve personnel page 70 as presented.
I need a motion.
So move.
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes have it, so the motion has been completed. All right, next I need a motion for consideration of closed session to determine whether the board should enter executive session for the following matter, and that will be for personnel contract matter.
I make that motion.
Need a second? Oh, second, that's right. All right, so we need an aye for all of those who are for it.
Aye.
Okay, so the motion is passed. Mr. Chase will come back and he'll inform you whether we stay in executive session. There's just a meeting that we need to remind you about because July the 4th is coming up, and our meeting will be changed to July the 2nd at 3 p.m.